And that is how exactly December 2011, the UN declared 11 October the International Day of the Girl. So we had the victory.
11 October 2022 marked the 10th anniversary of the commemoration of the International Day of the Girl. Plan International, as a world pioneer in the protection of girls' rights, has played a major role in the declaration of this day. And today, we take you to the memory of a girls' campaign icon who shared with us the steps that led to the declaration of this day. Good morning, Jai.
Good morning, Annie.
Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Sure, Annie. I am Jai Somo. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a leader. I am an ambitious woman who never stops learning to reach the sky which I have set as the limit for myself.
But Jai, I'm expecting you to tell us that you are a communication lead.
Oh, communication lead. What's that, Annie? That's just a function. I don't like being packaged in the name of a function, please. You know, women are so multi-talented and multi-skilled that it's preferable to know people for who they are and what they can do. That's all.
When did you join Plan International and what was the organization's stand at that time?
I joined Plan International in 2006 and precisely in October during the month of the girl. The focus was not on girls per se, but more on children. And I can remember we had by then a mission and a vision. And our vision stated, Plan International envisions a world in which all children can fulfill their potential in societies that respect people's rights and dignity. So it was all about children and not about girls.
So, how was the shift made?
It all started with some evidences that were gathered on the field. And the triggering factor is this visit that a senior leader of Plan International made in one program country, one of our program countries. He had to meet a family in a home visit, and that was during the rainy season. There was the mother, a boy, and a girl. And with the weather that was prevailing, he saw that the boy child was well protected and wearing, a hat, some gloves, and everything well protected. But the girl child had some very light clothing. So the man was curious enough, and he went to the mother and asked her, please, why is the boy so well dressed up and the girl not? Could you improve on her dressing? And the mother replied, well, because she is a girl. So the man was puzzled, and he asked himself, if the mother, who is the primary caregiver for her children, can be the one who decides to protect her son and neglect her girl child, then something is wrong about the girl child in the world. So immediately at the end of his mission, he wrote a mission report and recommended that some researches be launched all over the world to get the status of the girl across the world. And that is how, since 2007, Plan International organizes and launches some researches and produces some reports on the status of the girl all over the world. So exactly 5 years after the reports, the organization thought now we'd have enough evidence to, advocate for the situation of the girl to be improved. First, we wanted a day for the girl child. So this is what the organization did. First thing, we went by a petition, and we got 7,000 people responding to this petition. Secondly, we mobilized more than 15 girls who traveled all over the world from their communities to the USA to take part in the 55th UN Commission on the Status of the Woman. And there, the girls were empowered and bold enough to tell what was their daily realities, what were their daily realities in their communities, and why the importance to have a day for the girl child. Then thirdly, we got the support of the government of Canada, who supported, our request at the UN for an International Day of the Girl. So December 2011, the UN declared 11 October the International Day of the Girl. So we had the victory, and we had to move on now on another level of advocacy. We had to launch a campaign which we called the Because I Am a Girl campaign, in souvenir of the answer that the senior leader got in the community when he visited. Now in 2016, we moved to another level, which was now the Because I Am a Girl movement. That was BIAAG 2.0. And that's also the moment when the organization was working on improving or changing its global strategy. We decided to move or to shift from a vision and mission to a purpose, which now states, as you know, we strive for a just world that advances children's rights and equality for girls. So that is where the girls aspect of it now entered into the game.
Tell us, it's been 10 years that you are organizing the IDG. Could you please describe to us the most memorable IGG you have organized with Plan International?
I have so many souvenirs of the IDGs, but I want to focus on the very first one, October 2012. It was the first edition, and it was also the same space during which we had to launch the Because I Am a Girl campaign. There were so many emails, communications, fusing and profusing across the organization, asking the comms managers and the countries to make a lot of noise about this achievement. By then, I was the communication manager for Plan Cameroon. We sat within in the account management team. We designed our commemoration agenda, and there was a specific day which had to be done with the officials, with more than 500 people invited from all walks of the society, the government, the UN, the embassies, the children, the girls, all over the country. And the country director looked at the hall, and he came right on me and he said, "Jai, you have to do this presentation." I became stressed up at that moment because of, I felt as if I had to carry the country on my shoulders. Come and see me rehearse, Annie. I had to prepare the presentation, rehearse with my children, my husband, the CD, the CMT, my team, everyone had to give me some feedback, so I do it to perfection. On the D-Day, we went at the event hall, the biggest conference hall here in Yaoundé. And the more I was seeing the officials, the more I was stressed up. So when they started unrolling the agenda, it reached now my turn. I stood up and I felt like 2,000 eyes watching me. So I said, "But how will I handle this?" I felt like melting. I had to manage the stress. One idea just came to my mind. I decided to launch a song that some children had just launched when they staged before me. Women are changing the whole world, though. Women are changing the whole world. As soon as I threw the song, the whole assembly picked the song and everybody started singing, and my stress fell off. So that's how I now gathered all my powers and I started unrolling the presentation. At the end, I was so bold, it was so powerful that there were many congratulatory messages, letters coming in. And I won't forget the message of the Minister of Gender, who wrote and saying she especially commends the very powerful presentation that was made by Plan International to carry the voice of the girls on how the world should accompany them in this campaign. And I was so happy about that. And that was the most memorable day to me.
So definitely, we really needed to have a day dedicated to the protection of girls' rights. So tell us, what are the major achievements that we have since the declaration of this day?
Let me highlight three. The first, I will say, thanks to this commemoration or to this day, we have succeeded. Plan International has succeeded in bringing the attention of the whole world on girls' rights and girls' issues. The number of activists and advocates for girls' rights has known an increase in an exponential manner. You can also see that the IDG is a great space, or the best space, where you see the government, the donors, and even all other strategic stakeholders work hand in hand with the girls to influence practices, policies, budgeting, and programming for the girls. And I think that is something which is really great. Now, secondly, I would say the IDG has enabled Plan International to position itself as a go-to organization for girls. I can witness that in several meetings, for example, in humanitarian coordination team meetings in some countries, when it is the moment to talk about girl rights, Plan International is given the lead. Girls in crisis, girls in conflict, in all those arenas. Then thirdly, I will say events that we have been building around the girls, the International Day of the Girls, like the World Summit that just happened in Nigeria, the takeovers, the Youth Forum. We have empowered, transformed, and given agency to thousands, let me say millions of girls, whom we can see now standing strong to create change all over the world. And I can say that is the greatest achievement.
Yes. Yeah. So, as an icon of girls' rights campaign in Plan International, what lesson do you take?
I think I want to summarize it into just one sentence. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. It all started with the program visit, then an advocacy endeavor, then a campaign, a movement, and now a purpose of an organization that changes completely, and several programming and influencing activities around those. Now with the COVID-19, we have fallen back like a decade in terms of advancement of girls' rights. The distance we have covered was long enough, but now there is still a lot to do. And I will say it is your responsibility, it is your responsibility, it is my responsibility to take the journey further. And we all have to put our hands together to make it happen.
Thank you, Jai, for sharing your memories with us.
A pleasure. And
thank you too for following us. Remember, we need your support to advance girls' rights, and we won't stop until girls get equal.